Meet Marcus. Marcus is told every day to save his money, but he's starting to look at what actually costs the world to make money. He looks at a single banknote and realizes it didn't just appear. He sees the massive industry printing plants running 24 hours, 7 days a week. He sees the thousands of armored trucks burning diesel to move paper from city to city. He looks at the skyline and sees the glass office tower, thousands of them burning electricity for air conditioning and lights, filled with millions of people commuting in cars just to manage the ledger of all the old world. But Marcus looked deeper. He sees the massive cargo ships, the military fleets required to secure global trade routes that money its value. He sees the mining of metal for coins and the chemical waste from ink and paper production. In the traditional system, it takes a staggering amount of physical destruction just to keep the currency alive. It is a global engine of smoke, steel and oil that we've been told it's normal. We ignore the population of the banking infrastructure because it's been there for hundreds of years. But then the same people running that smokestack machine look at digital network like Bitcoin, and it's a disaster for the environment. They want you to look at the straw in the Bitcoin's eyes while ignoring the forests of smokestacks in their own. It's time to look at all the marketing and start looking at the mechanical. We often hear that Bitcoin is a climate catastrophe. But what if I told you it's actually the opposite? After 36 years of watching the traditional system waste resource without a second thought, I've discovered that Bitcoin is actually becoming the world pollution vacuum. Today we're moving the cliche, how code is actually cleaning the environment. The Methane Scrubber.
Let me explain how it works. When you drill for oil, you naturally release methane, a key component in natural gas. You aren't allowed to just release that into the air. It's a contributor of ozone. Most oil and gas sites in Colorado connect to a pipeline to move that gas into production. Some don't have access to a pipeline, so the gas is usually capped. But in these cases, oil and gas producers are using the methane to power generators, which in turn power computers to do complex mathematical equations and mine for cryptocurrency.
In the oil field, surplus natural gas is often burned off. That process is called flaring.
So Crusoe Energy Systems helps oil companies turn wasted energy or flare gas into a useful resource. Now, a lot of people who are not actively following the space have no clue how oil and gas relate to Bitcoin mining. So let's start by just breaking down how this actually works in real terms.
In the most basic terms, there's more than 10 billion cubic feet of natural gas being flared every day around the globe. That's enough wasted energy to power the Bitcoin network more than 8 times over.
This released methane, a gas over 80 times more polluting than CO2. Companies are now installing miners' containers directly at those remote wells.
Today we're going to be talking to Easy Blockchain, which is preventing greenhouse gases from getting into the atmosphere while turning a profit in the process.
Instead of polluting the air, the gas power engines to mine Bitcoin. This reduced the warning impact by 90%. It's literally turning toxic waste into digital gold. Why we need a grid shock absorber?
One novel strategy being looked at is using crypto mining as a form of energy storage by converting stranded renewable energy into Bitcoin. Wind and solar energy can be unpredictable, with supply often exceeding immediate demand. As a result, grid-connected renewable energy sources often have to pause operations if they're producing too much energy which can't be stored.
Wind and solar power don't shine or glow on command. Sometimes we produce too much energy and it's wasted. We call this curtailment.
What kind of patterns are you seeing here?
Well, Bitcoin obviously offers an incredible amount of electricity flexibility. These are large electricity consumers that have instant control over their demand for electricity. So they have the ability to respond to any type of grid signal. So for instance, if the price for electricity is high or there's congestion on the grid, they're able to respond very quickly and take advantage of selling their power back to the grid or meeting grid reliability needs if there's a potential for a blackout or a brownout.
Bitcoin miners are the only customers in the world capable of shutting down in a split of a second if the city needs the electricity. The digital boiler. A Bitcoin miner produces heat. A lot of it.
Interestingly, Bitcoin mining for heat is already secretly taking place across Europe.
We heat cities, we heat warehouses, we dry mangoes, or we can also warm some pools up with it. Greenhouses, for example, that is already being done. Like actually a large portion of European fruits and vegetables that come from Holland are heated by Bitcoin.
Right.
That is already happening, just people don't know it.
I tried to search on BTC Map, a wonderful registry of Bitcoin merchants around the world that you should definitely check out. So please download BTC Map on the app or Play Store. But for my old job as a Bitcoin reporter, I actually covered a warehouse in Norway and one in the Netherlands that use Bitcoin miner heat for both tulips and to dry timber.
Instead of wasting that heat, we're recycling it. In Manitoba and in Quebec, there are project pilots that are eating tomatoes greenhouse in the dead of winter using those machines. In Finland, miners' heat is being pumped directly into residential heating system. We're using the energy twice, one to secure the network and one to heat real life. Bitcoin isn't an energy problem, it's an energy solution. It's transformed waste into security and stabilize our power grids. It's proof that we can build a rock-solid financial system while cleaning up the planet. Here's a quick recap of the key point of green revolution. First, we're capturing the pollution methane to mine data. Second, miners acting as a virtual battery for the grid. And third, we're recycling heat to greenhouse and home. Those breakthroughs show that Bitcoin is more than just a code. It's an industrial tool to serve the environment. In the next video, we're going to answer the question everyone is asking.
But what can I do actually with my Bitcoin?
We'll explore all the ways to use Bitcoin today, from paying from coffee, for your coffee, with Lightning Network, to buy real estate, to send money across the world without any bank fees. We'll see how Bitcoin transitioned from a store of value to an everyday tool. If you learned something new about energy today, share this video with a friend that still think that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.